Welcome into the Nashville Game Changers podcast. I'm your host, Jill Jelnick. IndyCar is taking over Nashville very, very soon for the Music City Grand Prix, and excited to have as our guest this week last year's winner of the Music City Grand Prix, Colton Herta of Andretti Global. Colton, first of all, you're in the middle of your season right now, so yep. I know how busy you are. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and Nashville is a place that is so special to your heart. You lived here for several years.
Yeah. Obviously, I know the area quite well. Was fortunate enough to be able to live here for a few years and really enjoyed my time.
I'm curious. Obviously, I know now you're in Vegas, yep. But when you were here, what were some of your favorite parts of the city? And did you ever have any downtime to explore?
Not too much. For me, like, I was in Brentwood. I love that area. I loved Franklin also. Such a cute downtown for that place. But there's so much to do. I think that's a big part of like why I was looking at moving out here and eventually did. It's a great town, great airport, easy to get everywhere in the world that you need to get to, and just always something happening.
Did you have a favorite restaurant or go-to bar in Brentwood?
I like Doughbird in Green Hills.
Oh, I haven't tried it.
That for me was probably my favorite place, yeah.
Okay. Anything in Vegas close to it? I'm sure.
No.
Vegas has some great
it's
restaurants,
great culinary town, yeah. But just does nothing like Doughbird.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. One of a kind. There you go. Going back to last year's Music City Grand Prix, that was obviously a huge race for you and your team. It was your second of the season, 9th overall. Mm-hmm. But looking back at the Music City Grand Prix in 2024, what's the first thing that stands out to you about that race?
I think the pass at the end. Mm-hmm. To win a race like that, like I'd never done that in IndyCar, like a pass with 5 to go or 10 to go, whatever it was, so late in the race. So that for me was like just such a pump up moment. I was so excited when that happened. And it's just different. It feels different when you win a race that way. And
correct me if I'm wrong, that was the first oval
race
first oval of your career.
Yes.
And I've heard you talk about that track before. Mm-hmm. Why is that track so unique?
I think because it's a concrete oval. You typically wouldn't see that. You'd see like normal asphalt, what you would find on your roads on your street. For me, to my knowledge, I believe it's only 2 concrete ovals in the U.S. And probably the world. And so pretty special to have one here in Nashville and have it hold an IndyCar and a NASCAR race.
And what was it about that track that had just helped you excel, especially towards that backstretch?
I think you have a good car, it just makes everything easier. I give a lot of props to the team for stuff like that because it's not easy and to come back to a race that you've already won, like we all want to win it again and we know we can, but the sport's ever changing. So we have to keep up with the competition and just because we won last year doesn't mean that it's going to be a walk in the park or we should be favorites to win this year. It's just a completely different race every year, I feel like.
Another element that makes the Music City Grand Prix so unique is that Gibson guitar trophy.
Yes.
We spent some time at the Gibson garage and unveiled the new trophy for this year, thanks to Gibson and CFO Mark Taylor. Shout out to Mark. And beautiful, beautiful trophy.
Yes.
And it makes it very unique, this race, because no other race has a championship trophy that is an actual guitar.
Yes. And it's a Gibson, which makes it even cooler.
Exactly.
So for me, it is special. It is cool. It's one that you're proud to put up in the office or your trophy room or whatever you got it. I don't think it makes you want to win the race more because you want to win no matter what. Mm-hmm. But it does feel like more fulfilling when you get off the track and you win, and that's the trophy you get. It's a super cool one.
How would you describe that moment when you did hoist that trophy in Victory Circle last year?
I didn't know that I remembered, or maybe I didn't even know that it was a guitar you won last year. So it was I remember it coming as a bit of a surprise to me. Mm-hmm. But no, it was super cool. And I love that only the winner gets the guitar and, it's got first place on there and it's awesome.
I know you're a big music guy, but guitar is not your instrument. Drums are your instrument, right?
Yes.
How did you get into that?
Just something. I learned to play the drums pretty young. I think my parents were really adamant on all of us, my brother and my sister, learning an instrument when we were young. And so, for me, I tried piano and I hated it. And so I moved to drums and I liked it a lot more. It just kind of stuck.
You go from piano to, you're going, this isn't it. And then all of a sudden it was just a moment. Like you just knew this is the instrument for me.
Yes. Something a little bit more chaotic and loud. Yeah.
Did I read correctly? You were part of a band? Do you still play sometimes?
No, I do not. No.
How would you have time?
That's the problem is I don't. Not only do I not have time, but my friends that I was in the band with, they had to get real jobs too. So, we obviously it's something that I love, like I have passion for it, but it's something that it's hard to find time to do.
Of course. What was your band name? That's always
it
right.
Was the Zibs.
The Zibs.
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
I can't really say too much. I'll tell you after.
Okay, tell me after. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So you're listening to the Nashville Game Changers podcast with IndyCar driver Colton Herta. We'll be right back after this. Colton, this is your 7th year with Andretti Global. Quite the journey for you. You started racing so young.
Yes.
How would you kind of describe your relationship with racing and where you got to be now?
Yeah, ever since I was young, I was at a racetrack. My dad had raced IndyCars, so I grew up around it. And when I was young, my dad retired in 2007. So up until I was 7 years old, so I was at the racetrack basically all of that time. I loved it. Found out that you could go go-karting, and that's kind of how you get into professional motorsports, is by doing outdoor karting. So I got the opportunity when I was 5 to do it. Really kind of just fell in love immediately and just begged for my own go-kart. And I finally got one when I was 6 for my 6th birthday. And the rest is history, just kind of moving up to bigger and faster things. I started racing cars when I was 12 and made it to IndyCar when I was 18. And it was super, super special. And I feel very grateful to be able to do this as a job, because it isn't a job,
You're a professional athlete.
Living the dream.
Living the dream. It sounds like your dad's career had a big influence on yours.
Yeah, just like any little kid, you see what your mom or dad does, and you're like, I want to do that. I was just lucky enough that my dad had a cool job, and it wasn't like, I want to be an accountant like my dad when I grow up.
Which there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not a race car driver though.
Not as thrilling, that's for sure. Your family, how would you kind of describe your support system throughout your career?
It's huge. Obviously, most of what I learned about racing comes from my family, and specifically my dad. And I think they were happy. Maybe my mom not so much that I got into this, but I think my dad was really happy because my brother and sister didn't really have an interest in driving. They like watching racing. My brother loves watching IndyCar and loves being involved with it, and my sister, loves watching it, but they never wanted to race, and they never really had the bug for it like I did. So, I think they were really happy when they have one of us. My dad, not my mom. I don't think my mom had probably a hard enough time watching a husband go 240, and then now she's got to watch a kid do it. Probably, everlasting trauma for her. Battle tested.
She would be a mom that I would say has been battle tested.
100%.
Yeah, when I played softball, my mom, whenever I was at the plate, my mom just always did one of these, one eye. And I imagine your mom might have a similar routine as well.
Yeah, I think she says Tito's goes a long way in this sport.
I believe that. I absolutely believe that. It's a tough schedule. It's a grueling schedule. You're away week after week. Obviously, some weekends you have a bye weekend. You can rest and recover. But you're also running around for media tours and talking to people like Nashville Game Changers. So it's a tough schedule. You haven't been home in how many weeks?
I think it's coming up on 6.
6 weeks.
It's a while.
How do you manage that?
I think my love for racing kind of outweighs the negatives that come with it. And, I think the travel is a huge negative of our sport is you're always on the road and you're never really in one spot for too long, especially in season. Off season, you get a lot more time off. You get a lot more weekends at home at least. But in season, it's a rush. It's everything. It's crazy. So for me, it's my love for racing and IndyCar and everything outweighs like any of the negatives that I see in this sport. So it's fine.
Have you noticed yourself getting better in terms of just managing that travel load, workload, now that this is your 7th season? And has this season been any better for you?
Yes and no. It still is what it is. It's really like not fun to be on a plane every 2 or 3 days for 4 hours or whatever. But that's part of it, and part of what IndyCar is great at is bringing the show to people, right? Like we're not just in one place. You got to stay active and all over the country. So, it's a small price to pay for like when you get there and you get in the race car and you finally get to drive. Like it's an easy decision for me, and I don't complain about it too much because I am very lucky.
Well, the season finale is right around the corner, and it's here in Nashville. And you have a history with finishing seasons strong. Obviously, you won last year, and then 2 out of 7, you've been able... 3, excuse me. 3 out of 7.
That I can remember.
Yeah.
I think it's only
going
3.
on 4, right?
Hopefully.
Yes. What is it about the season finale for you?
I think it's just a little bit of luck of the draw, and that's just a stat that it is. We've always tended to like close out seasons really well, but for some reason that's just been a thing. I've won the last race of the year almost 50% of the time that I've been in IndyCar. So if we do it this year, it'll mark 50% of the time. So I'd love to be able to do that. And
you love Nashville. You love this track. What will it take to bring home your 2nd Gibson Guitar Trophy? Oh gosh, so much. I always say it has to be a perfect race, right? Because somebody will do a perfect race. You're racing against 27 other guys. Someone's bound to get it right on that day. And, for us, it's such a competitive sport. And I said earlier, like it's always evolving, right? So just having an open mind and understanding that what worked last year might not work this year. But, we still want to go over everything and point out the good stuff, right? And obviously last year we won, but there's still ways to make it better. And there's still ways for us to make last year's race better. So understanding that, how to make it better, what to do differently, you need to. Because if you're not doing that sort of stuff, you just fall behind in this sport. If you do get that 2nd Gibson guitar, you're going to maybe look into some music lessons. This is the city to do it. There are plenty of people that would fight tooth and nail to teach you to play guitar. Yeah. Honestly, I'd probably just go to a beach if I do, but if I win. But it is special. It's such a cool trophy. It's such a cool town. And I think it just makes sense, for IndyCar to be here. Super speedway, super high speed with the guitar, the Gibson Trophy, the Music City Grand Prix. It's just awesome. Yeah, you mentioned kind of that connection of Nashville and IndyCar. How much have you seen this sport grow in this city? Yeah, I mean, I know it's not the Midwest, but we are really close to the Midwest here. So I think that is the origin story of IndyCar is racing in the Midwest, and to have a race so close to the Midwest, it just makes sense. And I think Nashville's just a huge market, and we've been perceived really well out here, and we always get a lot of people that are interested in the race and a lot of people that know about the race. So, for me, I think it's very clear that we need to continue to come here. It's a lot of fun. I like it, like the market. It's a great market. It's an important market for IndyCar to be in. Yeah, I think Nashville would agree with that statement as well. How about this for a question? If you don't take guitar lessons, and you win, you got to have a place to celebrate. Are you going to Broadway to celebrate, or do you go back to Brentwood in what was the place called? Doughbird. Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe Doughbird if I win. I did go out on Broadway last year. Did you? Where'd you go? I don't remember. That's probably that's a fair statement. Yeah. That's a and common answer. There's a reason why I don't remember. Yes, it's a common answer because it was a great night. Yes, you went to so many great places. Yes. How do you keep up on Broadway?
Yeah, it was fun. I like it. When I was living here, right, like in season, there's really no chance for me to go down there, and I really probably shouldn't be going down there anyways. But I love that it's the finale because it's such a great town to like have a finale and be able to like go crazy afterwards. So I'm almost certain that I will be sticking around Sunday night. I'll maybe get into something.
Okay, good. All the IndyCar fans listening, they're taking notes. Okay, Colton Herta will most likely end up at Tootsie's first, Honky Tonk second, go from there.
We'll see.
We'll see. You're listening to the Nashville Game Changers podcast with IndyCar driver Colton Herta. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this. Colton, before we let you go, we like to finish with one of my favorite segments, In My Opinion.
Okay.
And I like to give our guests free range wherever you want to go with this. Doesn't have to be about IndyCar. Doesn't necessarily even have to be about Nashville.
I've got one. It's not going to be about IndyCar.
Okay, let's hear it.
In my opinion, the Buffalo Bills are going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs and finally make it to a Super Bowl this year.
Whoa! Oh my gosh, that was like straight out of left field. I did not see NFL or the Bills coming.
Love the Bills. Yeah, I'm a Bills fan. And
how?
Love the NFL.
How did that happen?
New Era used to do all of my merchandise.
Okay.
When I was in Indy Lights, and so obviously it was New Era Field where the Bills played, and got to go there and witness. That was actually my first NFL game that I'd ever been to.
Really?
I didn't grow up in an NFL household. I never really watched it. So my first time was going to the Bills Mafia, watching that game. It was crazy. It was like 32 degrees and people were in shorts and jumping through tables and whatnot. And I really didn't love football at that point. And I was like, you know what? If I'm going to support a team, these people are awesome. Lucky that like they were just getting into their kind of prime era. Like they're really good right now, and it's awesome to watch. But I did. Then I fell in love with football. Got into the whole sports gambling. Got to set out my bets on Sunday morning, go cheer on the Bills. I've gotten to know a few of the players, and I just love it out there in Buffalo. It's really, really cool environment. Love the small market team feel, but they're so good. So it's fun. It's fun to be a part of that.
You said you met some of the players. Have you met or talked to Josh Allen before?
I have not, but Dion Dawkins is my guy, and I love watching him do his job. He comes to the 500 every year, and he tries to go to at least one other IndyCar race, and I do the same. I try to go to at least one Bills game a year.
Yeah. Do you have one circled on your calendar already?
Don't yet.
Not yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And I like to get up there when it's like in the elements a little bit, right? So not too early in the season. Yeah. Because it's like one of the last few, great places. You got Cleveland that's putting a dome. Like terrible. I don't know why they're doing that. They're building a new stadium, but it'll be able to stay open. So it's I don't know. I just love watching football like that. It's just even though the games maybe aren't the best in passing and whatnot, it's just a cool aspect to have a sport that plays in those conditions.
Oh, completely. Josh Allen puts on a show. What rain, shine,
He's a freak.
snow.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of his.
Yes.
And I think it's only a matter of time probably before you meet him, maybe this season. But when I think of Bills Mafia, I think of two things. The slamming on the table, right? Yeah, just like boom, right on the table.
Yes.
And then the fans shoveling the snow.
Yes.
They take so much pride in that. And when the new stadium started to go under construction, I was like, oh, I'm sure it's going to be a dome, right? So they don't have to put up with the snow? No. I was like, wait a minute, what? They're not even going to cover
Buffalo?
it? No. So you're on the side of course not. That would be sacrilegious.
Well, it's an advantage too, right? When you have the Dolphins coming up and division rivals.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like it's something that they wouldn't be used to. And living in Buffalo, they're just living in it, right?
Yeah.
So it's an advantage. They need to keep it.
It's part of their identity.
100%. Right? Everybody loves it.
Yeah. And then you also mentioned the Chiefs. Obviously, that's been kind of the...
Don't like them.
I know. That's been their Achilles heel,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Whenever those
it was
teams,
like the Patriots, and then like the Patriots were bad, and then the Chiefs got really good, and I was like, oh my
You're
God.
like, wait a minute.
Yeah. But no, it's still impressive, as much as like I would love to watch Josh Allen beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's just impressive what they've been able to do, and Andy Reid's been able to do there. But yeah, hopefully this is the year.
This is the year for Bills Mafia. This is also, fingers crossed, this is the year for Colton Herta. once again.
Yes, let's both do it.
Nashville
Yes.
Super Speedway. We're going to manifest all of that stuff. Colton, thanks so much for coming on the show. Really excited. It's going to be here before you know it. August 31st. It's Labor Day weekend, so expecting a big crowd. I'm sure that's kind of fun too, going out on a bang with what you know is going to be a huge crowd at Nashville Super Speedway.
Love it. Yeah. The more the merrier.
Yeah.
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets.
Get out here. Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, it is on Fox 17 too. So you can go there, watch it. I'll have the highlights, all that fun stuff. So
perfect.
Thanks again, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to the Nashville Game Changers podcast. Be sure to tune in next week for our new guest. And in the meantime, be sure to check out our YouTube page and social media. And when you're there, please like and subscribe.